Hey everyone, welcome to this weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast for the week of April 1st to the 7th of 2024. Alright, so this week we have Mercury retrograde. Mercury's going to go retrograde on Monday. And this is in Sidereal Pisces, where we've got a lot of planets at the moment, the Sun, Mercury, and Venus, all in watery Pisces. And now the Mercury retrograde will be a good time to reconsider these watery things. So things like what's important to us on a soul level in life. Maybe our spirituality, our connection to spirit or soul or life itself, as Pisces really is the undercurrents of life. So a good time to maybe reconsider, redo things that might bring in better peace, better rest, better spirituality, spiritual and mental health into our life, starting this week with that retrograde. Adding to that is that Venus will be over Neptune on Wednesday, so perhaps some new beginnings in regards to what we're valuing with these things. Valuing a bit of that rest, peace, sleep, spiritual well-being, and perhaps some new beginnings coming out of that with that conjunction. Venus can often symbolize relationships as well, so there could be maybe some new beginnings around that receptivity, compassion, acceptance, understanding in our relationships also. So those are the two main aspects this week. No sign changes. Towards the weekend, we do have Venus sextiling Pluto, so there could be some depth at least available in terms of perhaps some of these enjoyments that we could be having here in this watery area, or perhaps some of those transformations in relationships as well. All right, so let's go and take a look at all of this here in more detail when we return. Alrighty, so here is the sky for this week. We're going to look at this for each day of the week, starting first with Monday, April 1st. And as you can see here, we are using the visible sky on this channel, which is very different from mainstream astrology. You will notice the signs are different. For example, I did just say that Mercury is going retrograde in Pisces, but perhaps you were expecting me to say that he's going retrograde in Aries. So if you are new to this channel, definitely check out that link down below for more information on using the visible sky and how it's different from mainstream astrology via the link down below. All right, so let's go ahead and do a bit of a recap. We have no sign changes this week, so things are going to stay involving the main planets here with their signs. We've got the Sun, Mercury, retrograde, and Venus all in Pisces. And so yes, it is the time of the year to connect with our soul. It's great to set these intentions. We're going to have a new moon, actually a solar eclipse, around Tuesday of next week. That's really going to continue this energy. But it's been very good to, yes, connect with our soul and do what's more soul fulfilling to us in life. And perhaps have an approach to life that is a little bit more willing to have faith and trust in things. You know, Pisces, the fish, is all about feeling our way through life, connecting to the water of life, which could be the spiritual dimensions, the currents of life in terms of where things are flowing and putting our energy into that. So it's definitely about cultivating more receptivity and more of that inner guidance in life. And so anything that is in alignment with this, I think, is fantastic, as of course we have so many planets here, and I'll be talking a lot about this here with these aspects this week. Mars is in Aquarius though. Mars doing his own thing as he normally does. And so here it's great to still be taking action towards any types of future ideals, future visions, things that we're aspiring towards. Aquarius is all about that future vision, and Mars is all about our actions and our needs and our drives. And so great to do that. And as a result, there can sometimes be some collective things going on there. Maybe a good time for being a bit direct in our groups or communities or with friends. Maybe putting some of that energy towards contributing to things greater than ourselves. Aquarius is about not only seeing that visionary side, but for ourselves, but also collectively as well. And so anything on that level, I think, is still fantastic. So a bit of a quiet week astrologically in terms of the aspects. As you can see, just a few here. But it is an important week, of course, with Mercury being retrograde. And so right off the beginning of the week here on Monday, Mercury is station. And so that means relative to Pisces, he's paused in the sky. And so it's a good time to pause with things in general. Mercury does rule our day-to-day activities, really our minds and how we're thinking about things. And so during the station period, it's a good time to just kind of pause with matters and see what new directions things might be taking. Because over the next 3 weeks, it's going to likely be some redoing, some rethinking, some reevaluating. And so anything that does support that early in the week is great. And anything you may want to intentionally start to go back and rethink, redo, re-edit is a fantastic way of working with a Mercury retrograde. And that sets the intention so that we are in alignment with the energy. A lot can get done during retrogrades. It's not a time of putting things off. It's a time to re-edit, redo things, and to do things that maybe you meant to do in the past before. And now is a time to go back and do that. So great to set that intention and perhaps start some of those things with the Mercury station around this Monday time period. So on Monday, the moon will be in the third quarter phase of the lunar cycle. So it is an action-oriented phase. And here with the moon in Sagittarius, it's suggesting that, especially these first couple days, it's good to expand our horizons a little bit, challenge ourselves to expand our worldview, expand our view of life, the meaning of life, what's possible in life as well. Sagittarius is that spirit for life. And so anything that's about connecting to more of that spirit is a great way of working with these first couple days. And the third quarter is the reminder that we are in the eclipse season right now. We are in the eclipse lunar month. We had that lunar eclipse about a week prior, depending on when you're watching this. And so that's what we're implementing. Okay, that's what's good to challenge ourselves with this early part of the week, is to apply and implement any new shifts of perspectives since the past week, any new insights, and again, with the caveat that Mercury is stationed, and it's good to maybe approach it with a more of a flexible or redoing approach to it. All right, but yeah, the moon will be in Sagittarius both Monday and Tuesday. Good to expand our mental and literal horizons. Then as we start to get into the later part of Wednesday, the moon will start to shift into more grounded Capricorn. This is where it's good to maybe see some of that long-term view, access a bit of patience, discipline, and responsibility towards things. This will be great both Wednesday and Thursday. Now, Wednesday and Thursday, we have Venus passing over watery Neptune here, the ruler of Pisces in Pisces, right? So again, adding to definitely the more receptive and intuitive qualities of life, and really inward and deep emotion and deep spiritual qualities of life that are so good to be cultivating. But with this conjunction, it is a new beginning, as most conjunctions are. And what we're seeing here is a new beginning with the Venus side of life. Now, Venus rules fundamentally our values, so perhaps new enjoyments, new values to be had, to be seen in regards to the spiritual world, in regards to what brings more peace to us in life. And of course, Venus being also the planet of relationships, this could be a new beginning of more of that receptive energy there. Both about relationships is good, to be receptive about relationships, right? Faith, trust, all that kind of thing. But in relationships as well, that compassion, understanding, anything else that is more on that spiritual level that can be implemented into your relationships, I think is great, with balance. Although there's not usually a danger of going out of balance with conjunctions, of course it's just good to have a reminder with all this watery energy that of course we don't want to get caught up into any dreams or ideals or fantasies about things, especially if it comes to values, resources, or money, which Venus can represent, or also relationships, which Venus can represent. So just know that we are under a bit of the influence, certainly collectively right now. And so when it does come to those values and relationships, good to see those healthy new beginnings there. But all in all, great to set intentions with anything really for the year, for the next 12 months, generally with conjunctions like this that we want to set for ourselves, that can bring in more of that receptivity in our enjoyments in life and in our relationships. All right. And that's again with the moon in Capricorn, kind of grounding things, giving us that long-term view. Now, once we do get to the weekend, the moon will shift into Aquarius for Friday and Saturday. That's getting into more of that visionary side we were talking about earlier with Mars. So maybe a good weekend for some of those collective things, some of those visionary things. We could notice some themes around that. But on Saturday, Venus will be sextiling Pluto. Sextiles aren't anything major, but it's nice to see that there's an opening here for perhaps some of that depth when it comes to our enjoyments and relationships. Pluto gives us the opportunity to dive deeply with things and perhaps even do some personal transformation as well. If there's any fears to face in those areas or anything we can do to transform ourselves or to empower ourselves in the context of those Venus things, I think is fantastic. And so there's an opening for that. And again, that could be an opening for more enrichment, more depth, more realness, more rawness when it comes to our enjoyments and relationships in life. And so if you choose to utilize that, it could be a great day to utilize that, particularly on Saturday. All right, and then the weekends with the moon starting to shift into Pisces, which is gearing up for the ending of the lunar month and gearing up for the solar eclipse, which will be around Tuesday of next week. So especially as we get into next week, it's good to let the energies die down. Anything that's about completion and finalization of the lunar month is fantastic. And I think over this weekend, it's great to perhaps start that. And by the weekend, that Mercury retrograde will be in full momentum. So again, it's good to be perhaps reconsidering things there as well. All right, everyone. So that is the week in a nutshell. Most importantly is at the beginning of the week, good to pause. There's a shift of perspective, some things that are good to go back and do, maybe from the past or maybe things that need re-editing. And anything in that intention is great to start perhaps on Monday there. Now, a lot of water energy in the mix this week. Venus over Neptune certainly adds to that. And this could be some new beginnings in that department, specifically with our enjoyments and relationships in life. And then as we get to the weekend, it's really just closing out the lunar month and gearing up for that solar eclipse next week. All right, so everyone have a fantastic week. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click the like button if you're watching this on YouTube. And if you haven't yet gotten your True Sidereal report, there's a link down below for that. You can sign up, it's absolutely free. But again, have a great one, everyone, and I'll see you all next time for the next astrology forecast. Take care.